I am starting off building my shoe closet by first creating some frames. So here I'm just taking some 2x4s, creating these frames. I screwed them together with 3-inch screws. Here I'm finding the studs in the wall. Now this is a very important step. You want to make sure the frames that your closet is sitting on is secure to the wall. So here I'm using one of my stud finders that I rave about, Zircon stud finder. It's one of the best that I've used, and I'm just securing that frame to the wall. Now, once both of my frames were both secured to the wall, I started to create the actual shoe closets. Now here I'm using 3/4 inch maple plywood. It's probably one of the best plywoods that you can get. I got mine at Home Depot. And here I have already cut my wood down to size, and I'm using pocket holes and pocket hole screws to attach the frames to each other. Now, I decided to build my frames out in my garage because I thought it'd be easier to build and then take it into the closet. So I'm just building the outer frames, and then once I get the frames in the closet, I'll start adding the shelves later. And if you're wondering what that clamp is that I'm using, that is my Craig clamp. I use it for all my builds. It really helps me to clamp the pieces together and makes it easier to screw it in. Now here you can see me rolling in those shoe storages into my house. Now I have a little ways to go into my house. I have to roll through the laundry room, through my bedroom to get there. But if you use a dolly, you'll be fine. Or get help from an extra person. I'd highly recommend that. And here next you can see me adding the backing to the shoe storage. Now this is probably a step that probably be better if you do it before you bring it in. But I kind of forgot this step at the last minute. So here I'm just using a staple gun to attach the 1/4 inch sheeting. You want to make sure you use a staple gun and not a brad nailer because the 1/4 inch sheeting is too thin. The brad nails, it'll just rip off. So make sure you're using staples to put that backing on. I just do this so that the closet is nice and smooth. You don't have to use the wall. I have orange peel texture on my wall and I didn't feel like skim coating, so I just put that backing on it. And now we're going to attach it to the wall, to the studs. I already pre-marked the studs so that we could secure it to the wall. Now, once it's secured to the wall, I started adding my shelving, and I'm adding in the shelves with pocket hole screws and pocket holes as well. My rule of thumb is if the shelves are higher than I am, then I flip the holes up so that you can't see them. And then if the shelves are below me, I flip the screws down. I still fill in the pocket holes, but just it makes it a lot cleaner if you don't want to fill in the pocket holes right away. You don't see them, so that's just a rule of thumb. And then once I add the shelving, I started adding the front face frames. I just used Select Pine on these. It's usually pretty nice, pretty sleek. It gives a clean look. And all I'm doing is adding some wood glue to the front, and then I put the face frame on, and then I use my brad nailer to attach it to the shelves. And once you add the face frames, it really looks clean. It gives it a nice custom look. I use 2-inch screws. That's what I've always used when I build. So that's what works for me. And once I got those face frames all in, I started laying down the flooring. Here I'm using vinyl flooring. These are Cali floors. I've used this before and I've had pretty good success with these. The cut's really easy, lays down, and it's waterproof, durable. So check those out. Once I laid the floor down, I started working on the drawers. I know drawers can be a little tricky. What I do is I usually install my drawer slides first. Once I install my drawer slides, then I measure between the drawer slides and I subtract 1/8 inch on both sides. And then that's how I get my drawer measurement. And once I build my drawer, I slide my drawer in between the drawer slides just to make sure that there's enough room. It's not tight. And then I know my drawer is good to go and good to install. So as you can see, I built my drawer here. It fits in and we're good to go. So then once I finished building everything, I used my Graco T7 sprayer, I believe is the model name. I really love this sprayer. It's a really good cordless sprayer. And I always love spraying my cabinets because it always gives a smooth finish. It's way better than rolling. And I always try to use a high gloss paint when I'm spraying cabinets because it just makes it super durable. And of course, I decided to go with pink because pink is such a cool color. I love this rose color. And once I spray painted everything, I went back with a roller and rolled the trim and added the trim on. I didn't spray this because I wanted it to look clean on the floor. And here we go. Final look.